In the realm of heaven, even the purest intentions can lead to the darkest of outcomes. They were the Watchers, celestial beings meant to guide and protect. But driven by a compassion, they defied the divine command. What began as a mission to uplift humanity soon spiraled into chaos, unleashing forces beyond their control. It's often said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And for the Watchers, this couldn't be more true. As they descend from grace, they grapple with the devastating truth that even the brightest intention can cast the darkest of shadows. And in the path of redemption is fought with trials. Join me as I explore the complex journey of the Watchers, a powerful narrative of hope, regret, and enduring quest for forgiveness. Can fallen angels ever truly find their way back to the light? Or are there some sins that are just too great to redeem? Let's find out.
Welcome to DJ's Corner, it's just my opinion. Diving into mysteries, wrestling dominion. From true crime chills to comic book thrills, I break it down for you with all the feels. DJ's Corner, just my point of view. Funny and smart, bringing something new. From villains misunderstood to wrestling views. Tune in, my friends, as the truth reviewed. Let's talk Lex Luthor, business tycoon, falling from grace, aiming for the moon. Our Harley Quinn struggling, misunderstood plight. In my corner, we'll get her story right. Let's talk Lex Luthor, business tycoon, falling from grace, aiming for the moon.
Act 1. The Heavens and the Decision to Fall. Scene 1. The Celestial Garden.
Why must they endure so much pain? Their cries echo through the cosmos, and yet we are forbidden to intervene.
Samyaza, you've been watching them for too long. Compassion is noble, but we are bound by divine law.
I can't stand by and do nothing, Raphael. We have the power to help them, to ease their suffering. Why should that be a sin?
It is not for us to question. Our Father's wisdom surpasses our understanding. Trust in His plan.
But what plan is there in allowing needless pain? The knowledge we possess could change their world. Why should it remain hidden?
Because they must find their own path. Interference leads only to chaos.
Samyaza looks unconvinced as Raphael departs, leaving him alone with his thoughts. Scene 2. The Throne Room of God.
Samyaza stands before the blinding light of God's throne. The room is vast, filled with a divine presence that is both awe-inspiring and overwhelming. Samyaza kneels, his head bowed in reverence. Samyaza, my child, your heart is heavy. Speak your mind.
Father, I see their suffering. I hear their cries. Why must they endure such hardship when we could guide them?
Their journey is one of free will and growth. To intervene is to rob them of their destiny, to alter the course set before them.
But Father, is compassion not our duty? Can we not share with them the light of understanding?
Compassion must be tempered with wisdom. The knowledge you hold is not meant for mortal hands. It is not your place to alter the balance I have set. Samyaza lowers his head, conflicted but respectful of the divine command. Return to your duties, Samyaza. Trust in my purpose and be at peace. Samyaza rises, still torn, but obedient. He leaves the throne room, the weight of his thoughts bearing heavily upon him.
Scene 3. Gathering of the Watchers.
We are the Watchers, meant to observe and protect, yet we are bound by laws that keep us from fulfilling our true purpose. Look at them, humans struggling, lost. We can change that. We can teach them what they need to thrive.
I've watched them too, Samyaza. They fumble in darkness while we hold the light. It's time we share it with them.
But to defy God's command, we risk everything. Our place, our purpose. Is it worth it?
I have stood before God himself and his will remains unchanged, but I believe that we are meant to do more. Compassion and action are not sins. If we can save even one soul from suffering, is that not worth any price?
The angels murmur among themselves, some nodding in agreement, others still unsure. Samyaza steps forward, his determination shining through.
We have a choice, to watch from above or to descend and make a difference. I choose to act. Who among you will stand with me?
After a moment of hesitation, one by one, the angels step forward, joining Samyaza. They form a circle, united in their resolve.
We are with you, Samyaza. Let us go down and share our knowledge with humanity.
Then it is settled. We will descend together and we will change the fate of mankind.
As they clasp hands, the garden fills with a soft, defiant glow. The decision is made, and there is no turning back. The scene ends with the Watchers preparing for their descent, their faces a mixture of hope and uncertainty as they take the first steps towards defying divine command.
The sky splits open with thunder and lightning as the Watchers descend from heaven to earth. They land on a mountaintop, their ethereal forms glowing intensely. Samyaza leads them, his wings shimmering under the moonlight. As they touch down, the ground quakes and the sky briefly blazes with light. Below, humans gather, both terrified and awestruck by the celestial beings before them. A young girl, Alara, stares wide-eyed at the descending angels, clutching her father's hand. Her father, terrified, shields her as the villagers murmur in awe and fear.
Father, are they gods?
Her father, trembling, responds, Father, they are Watchers, angels sent from the heavens. Some humans fall to their knees, praying and weeping. Others look on with suspicion and fear, uncertain of the Watchers' intentions.
Fear not, we have come to guide and uplift you, to share the knowledge that will ease your burdens.
A murmur of hope ripples through the crowd. The Watchers spread out, each bringing forth a different gift of knowledge. Random villager. Could they be our salvation? The initial reaction is mixed. Hope, fear, and curiosity blend as the Watchers begin to interact with humanity, laying the foundation for what they believe will be a better future. Samyaza and the Watchers gather in the village, surrounded by eager humans. Samyaza demonstrates the use of herbs and plants, turning them into medicine. He crushes leaves, mixing them with water to create a healing salve, and applies it to a sick child who quickly regains strength.
These herbs hold the power to heal wounds, cure fevers, and protect against disease. Use them wisely and you will prosper.
The villagers gasp as they witness the child's swift recovery. A woman, Mara, steps forward, her face lined with worry for her ailing husband.
Can you help him too?
Samyaza nods and applies the salve, and the man begins to breathe easier, his pain subsiding.
Thank you, blessed angel. You are truly a gift from heaven.
As the Watchers continue to aid the villagers, they begin to notice the Earth women, beautiful, gentle, and full of life. Azazel, in particular, becomes captivated by a woman named Lyra, who tends to the children and elderly.
Such grace and beauty. They are unlike anything in heaven.
Samyaza also observes the human women, but tries to focus on their mission. However, the line between admiration and forbidden desire begins to blur. The Watcher's attention to the women grows subtly at first, unnoticed amidst the broader act of helping humanity, but it marks the beginning of a deeper, more dangerous involvement. Time passes, and as the Watchers' relationships with humans deepen, forbidden unions occur. From these unions, the giants are born, towering beings, a mix of divine power and human mortality. One of the giants, Uriel, steps out from the forest. He stands 3 times the height of a man, his presence both awe-inspiring and terrifying. At first, the villagers view the giants as protectors, marveling at their strength as they lift heavy stones and plow fields with ease. Villager 1. They are our saviors. Look at what they can do. However, the giants' needs quickly outgrow what the land can provide. They consume vast amounts of food, drink rivers dry, and their playful battles with one another begin to devastate the surroundings. Trees are uprooted, fields are trampled, and homes are crushed under their massive feet. Villager 2. They're destroying everything. We can't control them. Samyaza watches, troubled, as a giant accidentally crushes a granary, spilling the village's entire grain supply. The impact of the giants begins to strain the land and its resources, creating the first signs of a disaster that no one can contain. The village is engulfed in utter chaos and destruction. Giants now roam unchecked, their massive forms causing the ground to quake with every step. They fight amongst themselves, their brawls leaving deep craters in the earth and splintering entire forests. The air is filled with the sounds of roaring, the screams of villagers, and the shattering of wood and stone. One giant, enraged, swings a tree trunk like a club, sending debris flying. A small group of humans, including Alara and her father, are caught in the path. They try to flee, but the ground splits open beneath them as the giant's foot comes down, crushing homes and lives beneath it. Blood stains the ground, and smoke rises from burning homes. The lush fields that once symbolized hope are now barren, torn apart by the giant's rampage. The once thriving village is reduced to rubble, and the villagers who survive huddle in terror, their faces etched with despair.
Stop! Enough! You're destroying the very people we came to help.
The giant, indifferent to Samyaza's pleas, roars and continues its rampage. Samyaza watches helplessly as the creatures they helped bring into the world turn it into a wasteland. Extreme imagery of the destruction follows. Corpses of men, women, and children lie amidst the wreckage, blood mixing with the soil and smoke choking the air. The Watchers, horrified, are powerless to stop the destruction they inadvertently caused. The Watchers gather back at the mountain where they first descended. Their faces are filled with regret and sorrow. The initial glow that once marked their divine nature is now dimmed by the weight of their choices. Samyaza stands at the edge, looking down at the ruins of the village below. Tears fill his eyes as the screams of the dying echo in his ears. The other Watchers stand silently, grappling with the magnitude of their actions.
We were meant to be their guardians, their guides. Instead, we have brought them only ruin and death.
Our pride blinded us. We thought ourselves saviors, but we were no better than those who seek power for themselves.
We've defied the heavens, and now we see why such knowledge was forbidden. The balance we disrupted cannot be restored by us. We have fallen, and with us we have brought the world to its knees.
The Watchers bow their heads, united in the realization of their hubris. The celestial beings who once glowed with purpose now stand as shadows of their former selves, marked by the irreversible consequences of their actions. Samyaza looks up at the sky, seeking solace in the heavens that they defied, but all he finds is silence. The weight of their defiance and the devastation it caused hangs heavy in the air as the watchers face the grim reality of their choices. The scene fades as the watchers stand on the precipice, staring into the distance where their actions have left a once thriving world in ruins. They are no longer just fallen angels. They are the architects of a tragedy that has reshaped the destiny of all they sought to protect. The Watchers are gathered on the mountain, witnessing the devastation they've caused. Suddenly, a dark presence descends, Lucifer, his wings dark and menacing, landing before them with a confident smirk. The Watchers feel the cold aura emanating from him, a stark contrast to their own fading light.
Look at you, Watchers, falling from grace just as I did. You thought you could give them the apple, the forbidden fruit of knowledge, and somehow escape the consequences?
Samyaza steps forward, defensive but resolute.
We did not seek to defy. We sought to enlighten, to guide them away from suffering.
Ah, but that's the trick, isn't it? Knowledge is power, and power corrupts. You gave them the fruit, just as the serpent did in Eden. And now, just as then, humanity pays the price for your vanity.
Lucifer's words cut deep, and highlighting the parallels between the Watcher's actions and the original sin. The comparison stings, casting the Watchers as unwitting perpetrators of a new fall from grace.
We offered them tools to better their lives, not to destroy them.
And yet destruction is what you wrought. You acted as if you were above divine law, believing your way was better. Your actions mirror mine, yet you still cling to this delusion of noble intent.
Samyaza, though pained, stands firm, refusing to accept that their actions were entirely in vain. The sky darkens, and the wind swirls as the presence of God fills the mountain. The Watchers kneel, and Lucifer stands apart, watching with a mixture of amusement and disdain. A powerful, echoing voice booms from the heavens, shaking the earth.
Samyaza, Azazel, and all who have defied my command, you have brought ruin to the world I entrusted to you. You offered them the fruit of knowledge without the wisdom to wield it, and now you must face the consequences.
Samyaza, still on his knees, raises his head slightly, trying to justify their actions to God.
Father, we did what we thought was right. Humanity suffers, and we could not stand by and watch. We gave them what they needed to thrive, to rise above their hardships.
But in your haste to give, you did not teach patience. In your desire to help, you sowed discord. The knowledge you offered was a burden too great for them to bear, and now it has unleashed chaos.
We only wanted to be like you, to show mercy and bring light to their darkness.
Mercy without wisdom is folly. Light without guidance leads to blindness. You acted not as stewards, but as reckless guides, believing your path was above mine.
Lucifer steps closer, his voice a seductive whisper that only Samyaza and the Watchers can hear.
You don't have to accept this, Samyaza. We can fight this judgment together. You have seen the flaws in his plan. Join me, and we can reshape this world without the chains of divine decree.
No, Lucifer, I will not compound our mistakes with rebellion. We acted wrongly, but not out of malice. We must face the consequences of our choices.
Lucifer smirks, but his eyes flash with a hint of anger at being refused.
Fool, you think accepting this fate will bring you redemption? You will be forgotten, lost in the shadows of history, just another tale of disobedience and failure.
God's voice rises once more, and chains of light descend, binding the Watchers. They are lifted, their celestial forms struggling against the bonds that pull them toward a chasm that opens below.
For your defiance, You shall be bound and cast into darkness, to watch as the consequences of your actions unfold. You will find no peace until the end of days.
The chains tighten, and the watchers are dragged into the chasm, the ground sealing behind them as Lucifer watches, his smirk replaced by a cold, calculating stare. The watchers are suspended in the darkness of the chasm, their forms glowing faintly, bound and immobilized. They hang silently, reflecting on their actions. The full weight of their choices bears down on them, a crushing burden of guilt and sorrow.
We were blind to the consequences of our compassion. In our desire to help, we sowed seeds of destruction. We are not blameless, and we must now bear the weight of our actions.
Azazel, once defiant, now appears weary and broken, nodding in agreement.
We gave them the knowledge without the wisdom to use it. We became the very chaos we sought to prevent.
Armaros, struggling against his bonds, finally bows his head, accepting the truth.
We are bound here, but perhaps in this darkness we can find a way to repent, even if we can never undo the past.
The Watchers nod in silent agreement, their unity now forged not by defiance, but by shared remorse and the hope that one day they might be forgiven. Lucifer stands at the entrance of the chasm, watching the bound watchers with a mix of curiosity and scorn. He approaches the edge, his wings folding elegantly as he peers down at Samyaza.
Hope is a fragile thing, Samyaza. It flickers in the dark, but it rarely survives the cold reality of eternity. Why do you still cling to it?
Samyaza, though bound, looks up at Lucifer with unwavering eyes.
Because hope is all we have left. Even in the deepest darkness, a single spark can light the way. We may be bound, but our purpose was not entirely lost. We gave them something to build upon, even if it came at a cost.
You think your hope will redeem you? That he will look down one day and say, all is forgiven? You are more naive than I thought. There is no redemption for us, only the endless consequence of defiance.
Samyaza's expression softens, but his resolve remains firm.
Perhaps. But I believe that understanding our mistakes is the first step toward redemption. You chose to defy for your own gain. We made our choices out of misguided compassion. That difference matters, even if only to us.
You're still trying to be the hero in your own story. But this isn't a tale of heroes and villains, Samyaza. This is reality, and reality is cold, unyielding. Your hope is a chain as binding as these lights around you.
Samyaza smiles faintly, his eyes reflecting a quiet defiance that is not aimed at God, but at despair itself.
If hope is a chain, then it's one I gladly bear. It's the one thing that keeps us from becoming truly lost. We may have fallen, but we are not beyond redemption. Not yet.
Lucifer shakes his head, his wings unfurling as he turns away.
Cling to your hope then. But remember, in this place, hope can be the cruelest illusion of all.
Lucifer takes flight, leaving the Watchers in their chasm. As he disappears into the night, Samyaza and the others remain, bound but not broken, their faint glow a testament to their enduring spirit and the hope that one day they might find a path to redemption. The scene fades as the Watchers continue their silent vigil, suspended in darkness, reflecting on their fall, their mistakes, and the faint, distant possibility of forgiveness that keeps their spirits from fading entirely.
We were so sure, so certain that we knew what was best, but in our haste we overlooked the very balance we were meant to protect.
We thought we could change the world with knowledge, but we gave them burdens they were not ready to carry. We were no better than the blind leading the blind.
Our intentions were pure, but purity alone does not absolve us. The damage we caused, it's a scar that will linger for generations.
We cannot undo what has been done, but perhaps our story can serve as a warning, a reminder that even angels are fallible, that even the brightest intentions can cast the darkest shadows.
The Watchers continue to reflect their collective realization, a poignant acceptance of their mistakes. The chasm, though dark and silent, resonates with their shared sorrow and the flickering hope that they may one day be forgiven.
We wanted to be saviors, to bring light where there was darkness, but we became the very thing we sought to save them from: chaos, destruction, and pain.
The other Watchers listen, their silence speaking volumes. Each is wrapped in their own thoughts, their own regrets. But Samyaza's words resonate deeply, capturing the essence of their shared failure.
I see now that power, even with the best intentions, is a dangerous thing. We gave them weapons and knowledge, but not the wisdom to wield them. And for that, we are as much the architects of their downfall as we are of our own.
We forgot that true guidance isn't just about giving, but about teaching restraint, patience, and the understanding that some things must be earned, not simply handed over.
Our actions were misguided, but they were not without purpose. We must accept our punishment not as a condemnation, but as a lesson. A lesson we can only hope will reach those we try to help in whatever way it can. We were a catalyst for better or worse. Humanity has endured, grown, and adapted. They have made our gifts their own, even if it came at a price.
There is light, even in the darkness we cast. They've struggled, yes, but they've also thrived in ways we couldn't foresee. Perhaps our greatest mistake was in underestimating their strength.
They are resilient just as we once were, and maybe in their resilience they can find the balance we failed to maintain.
The visions fade, and the Watchers are left in the chasm, but with a renewed sense of understanding. They are not absolved, but they see that their legacy, though marred by mistakes, also carries a seed of hope.
Still clinging to hope, I see. You always were the optimistic one, Samyaza. But tell me, does it comfort you, this idea of redemption? Or is it just another delusion to keep the darkness at bay?
Hope is not a delusion, Lucifer. It's a choice. We may be bound here, but as long as there is life, there is the possibility of change, of growth. Our story is not over, even if our roles have changed.
You're wasting your time. Redemption is a fairy tale, a comforting lie. Look at us, cast out, forgotten. There's no redemption for angels who dared to defy the divine.
Perhaps not in the way we once believed, but even in this darkness, we can reflect, learn, and understand. We can choose to be more than the sum of our failures.
Always the dreamer, even now. You speak of hope as if it's a tangible thing, but hope doesn't change what we've done. It doesn't unmake the past.
No, it doesn't. But it guides the future. It's the light that keeps us from losing ourselves completely. And maybe one day, it will be enough to make a difference.
I envy you, Samyaza, not for your choices, but for your conviction. But conviction doesn't change fate. Remember that, as you hang here in the dark.
Lucifer takes flight, disappearing into the void. The Watchers remain, suspended but unbroken, their faint glow a testament to their enduring spirit.
Our fate is ours to bear, but it is not the end of our story. As long as there is hope, there is a chance, however small, that we may yet find our way back to the light.
The scene fades, leaving the watchers in their eternal vigil. Though bound, they hold on to the flicker of hope that one day their actions will be understood, their story remembered, and their redemption, however distant, achieved.
Another one lost to the folly of misplaced compassion. First me, now Samyaza and his watchers. You're losing your grip, old one. Your precious angels fall one by one, believing they know better than divine decree. They thought they could help to save your flawed creation, but all they did was add to the ruin. Another failure under your watch, another rebellion that proves the futility of your so-called perfect plan.
Lucifer's laughter echoes, a harsh and cynical sound that reverberates through the heavenly realm. He circles the throne, his wings unfurled, relishing the perceived chaos. As Lucifer mocks, the light from the throne intensifies, growing brighter and more powerful. A deep, resonant voice cuts through the air, silencing Lucifer's laughter instantly. God's voice. Lucifer, morning star, you speak of loss and rebellion as if it is victory, but you misunderstand the nature of my purpose and my love. Lucifer's smirk falters slightly, the weight of the divine presence pressing upon him. He tries to maintain his defiance, but there is an unmistakable shift in the air, a sense of awe and humbling power. Lucifer lowers his gaze, the enormity of God's words settling in. His wings, once proud and expansive, now droop slightly as he struggles to reconcile his own defiance with the truth laid before him. God's voice. Your rebellion was born of pride, a desire to stand above all. But know this, Lucifer, even in their fall, my angels are not beyond my reach. My love extends even to those who stray, for in their struggle lies the potential for redemption. Lucifer clenches his fists, his defiance flickering but not fully extinguished.
They fell because they believed they could be more. They thought they knew better, just as I did, and now they are bound, just as I am cast out. God's voice. They are bound, yes, but not abandoned. They have chosen a path of reflection, and in that reflection there is hope. A hope you have yet to embrace, for your pride still blinds you.
Lucifer's expression shifts, a mix of frustration and contemplation. He looks up, meeting the blinding light with a defiant but uncertain gaze. God's voice. Pride brought you low and it keeps you chained, but humility, repentance, and the willingness to learn from one's mistakes, these are the true marks of strength. The Watchers may have fallen, but they have not forsaken the possibility of forgiveness. Can you say the same? Lucifer remains silent, his wings folding in as he contemplates God's words. He turns away, his expression conflicted, and begins to descend once more into the shadows. God's voice. Go, morning star. Continue your path if that is your choice. But remember, the door to grace is never truly closed, even for you. Lucifer flies away, his form swallowed by the darkness of his realm. His departure is marked by a sense of lingering doubt, a seed of God's words planted deep within him.
We may have fallen, but our actions, our story, it continues to shape the world. In every choice, every challenge, there is the echo of what we tried to teach, even if imperfectly.
Azazel watches a group of humans come together to rebuild after a disaster, their cooperation a testament to the strength that lies in unity and hope.
They've taken our gifts and made them their own. They've learned, adapted, and in their resilience, they've found a way forward. Perhaps that is the true legacy we leave behind. Not the fall, but the rise that follows.
Armaros nods, his expression one of acceptance.
We wanted to be their guides, and in a way we still are. Our mistakes are lessons, our fall a reminder that even in failure, there is the potential for redemption.
The Watchers' glow brightens slightly, their spirits uplifted by the enduring hope that their story, though marked by defiance and consequence, is also one of enduring faith and the quest for redemption.
We are bound but not broken. Our journey is far from over, for as long as there is life, there is hope. And with hope there is the promise of redemption, even for those who have fallen from grace.
From the highest stars to the deepest chasms, the journey of redemption is one we all share. It is in the striving, the learning, and the enduring hope that we find our way back to the light. For every fall, there is the possibility of rising again, and in every heart the seed of grace remains, waiting to be nurtured and embraced. The scene fades to the soft glow of the celestial light, a symbol of the enduring promise that redemption, no matter how distant, is always within reach.
As we close this chapter of the Watchers, we are reminded that even the most divine can falter. Even the most real intentions can lead to unforeseen consequences. Their fall from grace wasn't of malice, but of misguided compassion, a testament to the age-old truth that the road to hell is indeed paved with good intentions. But their story does not end with their fall. Bound in darkness, the Watchers still hold on to a glimmer of hope that the belief of redemption is possible even for those who strayed the furthest from the light. It is a reminder to all of us that our mistakes do not define us. Rather, it's our willingness to learn, to grow, and to seek forgiveness that shapes our true legacy. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the fall of the Watchers. If you enjoyed this exploration of the celestial defiance and redemption, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that icon button to stay updated with more stories and their deep dive into myths, legends that shape our understanding of good, evil, and everything in between. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, even in the darkest times, hope is the light that guides us all. God bless. Peace.